Alrighty, so this is just a quick Photoshop tutorial on how to do a cool little salient image effect. So the first thing you're going to want to do is either access the photos that you've taken during our photography prac exercises, or alternatively you can download these two images off the Google Classroom. For the purpose of this tutorial, I'm just going to use these two, and I'm going to use this image here. So once you've got your image, you just want to right click it and go open with Photoshop. Once it's open like this, you want to unlock that first layer there, and I would just call it layer 1. After that, you want to duplicate this layer. So to do that, you just press Command J like that, or you can also drag this layer here down to the plus and it will copy the layer like that. I would again rename this and just call it layer 2. The next thing we want to do is we want to adjust this bottom layer here so that it is black and white. To do that, we come over to this little moon-shaped thing, click hue and saturation, and then we drag down the saturation to make that bottom image there black and white. So you can see if I turn off that layer there, it will make the image black and white. Cool, the next thing we're going to do is we are going to use the eraser tool to essentially rub out the color within the image. So you'll see if you press E or you come over here and click the eraser tool, and if you go over any part of the image like I've done here, you'll see that it makes it black and white. So what we're going to do now is we are just going to rub out the parts of the image that we want to be black and white, and we're going to leave the sections that we want to be color. So before doing this, I would just check the size of your eraser. So depending on your image size, but if you hover over, you'll be able to see the size of the eraser like that. I'd also check the hardness. So the softer you go, the softer the edges of the brush will be when you rub out. So you'll probably want to change the hardness when you get down to your subjects. And I'd also check that the opacity is on 100. I would also up your flow to about 100, and I'd also up your smoothing to something between 50 and 100. Cool, so now we are just what I'm gonna leave in this image is these two little workers here. They are gonna be my salient objects for the purpose of this tutorial. So now I'm just gonna quickly rub out the bulk of the image except for my two little subjects in the middle here. Cool, so once you've got the bulk of the image desaturated, so it's black and white, you want to zoom in. So you can just use that by scrolling or pushing on a trackpad, or you can also press Control or Command plus to zoom in. You'll see if I go really close into the image, I can slowly start to see pixels forming like this. So this is going to be important when doing the finer kind of rubbing out and edging of this last part here. So once you've got your salient image, you want to zoom in on it, and you just kind of want to slowly brush at the elements that you want to desaturate. You can also use the square bracket tool to resize the brush size, the eraser size. And if you make any mistakes like I've just done there, remember you can always just press Command Z to undo. So I'm just going to time lapse this part of the tutorial, but all we're doing now is we're just zooming in and carefully erasing the parts around the image. Cool, so another way you can check if you've maybe got some issue or anything, if you turn off layer 1, you'll be able to see the parts of the image that you have left over in color. So you'll see I've got this little triangle up here that I've forgotten to desaturate. So if I rub over that like that and then turn layer 1 back on, you'll get a much more finished product. So once you have your image at a point that you're happy at, we then are going to export it. So to do that, you just go File, Export. And for the context of this, I would just go quick export as PNG. And then I would just save it to that multimedia photo. That multimedia album that you should have on your desktop. And I would call this Salient Image Tutorial. Cool. Once you've done that, have a look in that folder. And then if it's something you're happy with, upload it to the Google Classroom. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this tutorial.